What's going on, guys? Welcome in. 30 books in 30 weeks. It's that time. And we are done with week 26. Like, literally, we have 3 weeks out of 30 left. I cannot even believe that this time is almost up. So, make sure you guys stay tuned next week because I think next week is when I'm going to announce what comes next. It's either going to be next week or the week after. But anyway, so we're getting to that point where we are coming to conclusion with 30 books in 30 weeks. Week 25, week 26, The Dance of Anger was our book selection for this week. And I think that there are a lot of people with anger issues out there. So I hope that you guys share this video out. I hope that you've invited some other people into these conversations. I hope that you've taken away maybe a little nugget, a little breadcrumb that you can use and find useful in your own lives, relationships, and businesses, because that's ultimately what this is all about. It's a personal development journey for 30 books in 30 weeks. And so we're 190 days into this. Which means we've probably got about 175 takeaways, ahas, tips, tools, techniques, strategies that you can use and that you can apply in your own life. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Marcy Batiste, and I welcome you to the Ultimate Power Team. I am your Ultimate Power Coach, America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer. And I'm sold out to my happiness. I think everybody should be. I live life on Mars, which means I operate from my own rule book for the most part. And more than anything, I just love to be able to be a spark that ignites the light for somebody else to discover and embrace their star power, for them to find out and figure out their direction. And one of the things we always talk about is shoring up that personal foundation. And so that's so important, to make sure that our personal foundation, our emotional, physical, mental stability is rock solid, so that as we go out into the world and begin to build businesses and families and organizations and things in our communities, that we're building from a healthy place. And so that's what success coaching is all about. That's what power coaching is all about. So I welcome you guys into the Ultimate Power Team. And so tonight we're talking about The Dance of Anger, which is our book for this week. And so you're mad. Now what? Go and get mad. Who cares? Ultimately, you're pissed off. So what? How does that affect anyone else? And so I want to, as we bring this book to a close, I really wanted to touch on that because, you know, we talked about throughout this week how anger is really truly a tool. It's an intuition tool that lets us know something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel good in this relationship, in this situation. I might be at risk. My rights might be in jeopardy. My personal being might be in jeopardy. I may be feeling disrespected, whatever the case may be. So anger is a natural, intuitive process. It's a tool for you to use to say, pump your brakes, something's not right, let's figure this out. What happens a lot of times is we decide we're going to stuff it down. We're going to pretend like we're not mad. So I said, go on, be mad. It's natural to be mad. Being pissed off is a natural thing. It's not a bad thing. It's only bad when you don't know how to manage it and you don't know how to use it to your best benefit. You have to learn how to manage it. You have to put a strategy to it. There has to be some sort of a process. And so that's what I was sharing with you guys earlier this week, is that you have to be able to stop in the middle, feel the emotion when it's coming, recognize that, okay, this is about to be anger that I'm feeling. Give it a name, give it an identity. But you don't necessarily have to give it a voice right away. And that's the thing. Like, I firmly believe that anger needs to have a voice, but not until it's in a controlled fashion. You can't just go off on people and expect to get a good, healthy result. And ultimately, what we talk about all the time is that we want you to be healthy. We want your investments to be good investments, whether they're time investments, energy investments, emotional investments, and uncontained, unbridled, unstructured, mismanaged anger is not healthy. It's not. Nor is denying that it exists. So when I say go on, be mad, go on, be mad, I say that in a vein that says, admit that you have the feeling, admit that you have the emotion, admit that something's not right for you in this situation, in this circumstance, in this relationship, in this transaction, in this interaction, whatever the case may be. You have to be able to say, my needs aren't being met. And ultimately, anger typically is going to surface when your needs are not being met. You feel like you're being disrespected. You feel like you've been violated. And that's an okay thing. So go ahead, be mad. But don't be mad for no reason. Be mad with a purpose. Be mad from a constructive standpoint instead of destructive standpoint. What I mean by that is, once you've learned to identify and give a name to and a feeling to and an emotion to your anger, it's very easy to respond with a purpose. And so ultimately what you want is for your needs to be met, or you to not feel disrespected anymore. You may want an apology. You may want something to be different. I'm here to tell you, sometimes it ain't going to be different. It's going to be the same. And you got to get clear, and you got to get okay with the fact that it might not change just because you're mad. Even if you handle it in the best possible way, even if you advocate and you explain, and you have crucial conversation skills and you exercise them to the letter, shit still might just stay the same. Now what? So being mad with a purpose doesn't always mean you're going to get your way. It means that you're going to advocate for what you want. You're going to advocate for what you need. You're going to advocate for respect. You're going to defend your boundaries. And then, if things don't change, you have a choice. You have a choice to make. You can choose to stay in relation with that individual. You can choose to stay in business with that business, that company, that person, that individual. You can choose to stay in a relationship with them, or you can choose not to. And ultimately, that's what being mad with a purpose is all about. It's about self-advocacy. It's about using the anger, using the emotion, using the frustration to advocate for what you need. Because like I said at the very beginning of all this, anger is nothing more than an intuitive red flag that says, pump your brakes, something ain't right here, I don't feel good about this. Then it's up to you. Identify what you don't feel good about. Where's the feeling coming from? Is it reality based, or is it fear based? Is it thought? Is it structure? How do you know it to be true? There's all kinds of exercises that I take my clients through when we're talking about how to manage and how to process emotions. And one of the most difficult ones for most people, especially women, to manage is their anger. But if you think about it from a standpoint of self-advocacy, self-love, and this is a self-care tool, anger is a self-care tool for you to advocate for what you need, for you to advocate to get your needs met, to feel respected, to feel safe. And if it doesn't work out, because it won't always change, I don't want you to think like, if I handle my anger right, I'm always going to get my way and everything's going to work out right in the end. Everything's going to work out exactly how it should work out. I'll promise you that. Now, will you always get what you want? Nope. And then you have a choice to make. You really have a choice to make. Do you want to continue to be in relation with this individual, this person, this business, this organization, this community leader, if they continue to disrespect you? And that's the crux of it. You recognize anger for what it is. Decide where it comes from, advocate for what you need, and then make a choice. Because it's either going the situation is either going to change or it's not. But what I can guarantee you is if you mismanage your anger, the situation is never going to change. It's always going to be jacked up. You're still going to feel violated. You're still going to feel stepped on. You're still going to feel like a doormat. And ultimately, that's not what you want. So being clear about what you want, being clear, being angry with a purpose, and then let that purpose be known, and then advocate for the change that you want to see. So that's my message for this week. That's the summary for this week's book, The Dance of Anger. And it truly is, managing anger is like a dance. And when you're in negotiation with someone, you got to be in tune. You got to be in tune. And you can't do that if you are in a place where you're not thinking clearly and you're merely reacting instead of responding. And if you're not willing to advocate for what you want, what you need, what you desire, you'll never get it. You'll never get it. And you'll continue to feel angry and frustrated and hurt and violated and compromised. And that's not what we want. So that's the message for today on this week's book. If you have any questions, inbox me. The DM's open 24/7, 365. I'm glad you joined the Ultimate Power team. I'm glad you hung in there with me tonight. If you're catching the video on the replay on either LinkedIn or on my YouTube channel, I welcome you for taking the extra step. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos. And for me, I'm out for the evening. You guys have a great night. Talk to you soon. Thanks for living life on Mars, guys.